Okay, hi everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining this edition of the so sorry about that. Thank you so much for joining this edition of Career Mapping. Last month's one was great. If you were not around, so sorry. But I'm so glad that you joined this February's edition. I'm so glad that we're going to get into a couple of things that people don't really talk about, but I'm so really so glad again that we're going to be talking about it today. I am joined with Ufuoma, and she'll be taking the session today and really speaking to how our personalities form a huge part of our career choices. Uh, I think a lot of people are very theoretical about, career and whatnot. People always feel like their career has to be based off things that are outside them. A lot of people are really pursuing things that don't align with their personalities, their traits, their interests, and they are just going for things that they feel is recognized as cool, as in trend. But at the end of the day, you discover that if you focus on your strengths and don't really focus on your weaknesses, you'll be able to make an impact um, in the world today. So I'm just really excited about this whole session, and I'm really glad that you're here today. So, a brief introduction for our speaker here today. Her name is Ufuoma Otutu. Ufuoma is a seasoned HR professional with 7+ years experience empowering individuals and organizations to reach their full potential, from media, education to medical, healthcare, and now fintech. Ufuoma has navigated diverse industries, developing a keen eye for identifying opportunities and driving impactful HR strategies. So having Ufuoma here with us is, such an important, I think it's a big deal, especially with someone of her expertise to just give an insight to what we're about to speak on today. So I think Ufuoma just left the call. I think she's still having issues with her network. Ufuoma, please let me know if you're here because I can't seem to
I'm
find you.
here. I'm here.
Oh, fantastic. And would you like to wait a bit before other people join? Maybe we can just get to know you personally because I just read
Okay.
a couple of things about you, but I'm sure everybody will want to have who is Ufuoma outside work and what really drives her aside from her HR expertise.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. Thanks, Eunice, for that introduction. And thank you so much for, this opportunity to really share knowledge and just really, that impact that you want to give to the younger generation, especially when in your own journey, you felt like there was nobody to really help you. So when you pick up things along the way, you are eager to want to impact it to, those are coming behind you, just so that you can help other people shape their lives as well. So yes, a little bit about me. I started my career in HR in 2017. I had read, my first degree was economics. I remember after I did 4 years in school, I already knew in my mind that I cannot do this thing long term. So I went back to do my second degree, and my second degree was in HR. So after school, I was now hustling to get internship positions because in HR is back in the day it was hard for fresh graduates HR to get jobs because everybody wanted someone that was already kind of experienced. So by the mind with my MBA at the time, I took a graduate internship role because I knew what I really wanted to do. I wanted to build myself in HR. So I started in media and advertising. I was there for about 2.5 years. And then I moved to facilities management. I also moved from facility management to the medical field, and then I moved to education, and now I'm in fintech. All this while I've maintained my role as HR, but it's just that at different points in my life, I've had to make some type of decisions. I've had to pivot, especially across what is it called, industries. I've had to not ask myself, okay, what do I really want in HR? Do I want to just, continue doing the regular HR, or do I want to think, oh, okay, how can I own HR for myself? So the career journey has actually been really interesting. There's been a little bit of let's say mistakes. I won't really say mistakes, but I'll say lessons. But I'm hoping that this session will help the participants to also know how to navigate their career, decide exactly what they want to do that aligns with their passion and their values and their interests, and even understand their skills, and determine, okay, the skills I have now, what are the opportunities outside that I can leverage So I'm hoping that this session kind of points us in that direction, and we're able to have like real life framework that we can use to plan our career going forward. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Oh, I really love
Yes.
the fact that you mentioned actionable steps, practical life frameworks, because I feel like a lot of us go for like various seminars and conferences and we just have like theoretical explanations as to what to do. But we're never like really given like the ABC, because people feel like, oh, you're supposed to take initiative. But sometimes honestly, we need people to just really hold us by the hand and push us through. Like I feel like I think it's just really important. I really don't know how to explain it without, suggesting that people like, shut up their brains. But I feel like there's a way where you can really help someone. And I feel like that's why things like mentorship, coaching, and all of these things exist, because people really need help. It's like some people know what to do, but then they just really need help in actually, in executing this thing. So I'm really happy that you're here with us today. And before we get into the session, I just really want to like share some housekeeping rules. Please, as you join the call, please make sure that you are muted till the end of Ufuoma session. Remember, if you have any questions, please don't forget to use the chat box. You can raise your hand if you have any questions so that we can speak orderly and smoothly. I have some questions from the survey, but if you have any questions at all, please don't forget to type them in the chat box. Make sure that you have your pen and paper ready, and make sure that you don't leave here without getting something for yourself. And without further ado, let's get into the session. Ufuoma, over to you.
Thank you very, very much, Eunice. I think I'll just go ahead and share my screen so that we can start. Give me a minute. Fantastic. Can we see my screen? Is it visible?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, fantastic. I'm so happy to be here. I was really, really looking forward to it, and I'm happy that they has finally come. So basically, like Eunice already spoke about, we are discussing understanding yourself, the importance of understanding yourself, and the role that it plays in mapping your career. My question to us, because this is going to be a very, very interactive session. I'm going to be throwing questions. If you don't want to answer, if you don't want to unmute your mic, you can answer in the chat box. Just try and make it as interactive as possible. So this is the outline of what we're going to be discussing. What is self-understanding or self-awareness or self-discovery? Because we use them interchangeably, but what exactly is self-understanding and why? Then the concept of personal SWOT analysis will go deeper into that. Then we'll discuss discovering the things that drive you within your career. We'll do skill audits, and then we'll now talk about the steps that we can take to build our career map. Again, I said this is going to be a very, very interactive session. I'm hoping that I'm going to get a lot of responses, and answers and questions as we go. What's one word that you use to describe how you feel about your career right now? I would like to get answers. Do you feel excited? Do you feel confused? Do you feel like there's so much that you're interested in, and then like it's pulling you in different directions? I would like to know. Eunice, if you can also help me in the chat room if there's any comments like that. You can just let me know. So if you just answer the question, like what was one word I used to describe your career right now? Let me use mine. Let me go first. So for me now, I feel in my career, I feel that readiness to launch into the next phase is like for lack of a better word, is like a glass door ceiling. I'm seeing where I want to go, but I know that there are certain things I need to do, certain milestones I need to get to and achieve before I can reach that level. So that's where I am right now. So I won't say stuck. No, stuck is not the word. It's just I'm in that mode of preparation into the next step. But is there anyone that has any comments or any answer? There's no answer that is wrong. There's no wrong or right answer.
Someone said, Sarah said she's comfortable. I said I'm Dora the Explorer right now because I'm like exploring a couple of things.
Different things. Yeah. And that's fantastic. At the end of the day, there's one thing I want us to note. I put out in my notepad, I was going to say, your career is your own, it's personal, right? If like now, Eunice already said, oh, she's Dora the Explorer, and that works for her, right? She's trying to figure things out. Okay, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this. I'm sure she has taken steps. Has taken that time to break down what she needs to do and decide. Maybe in the long run, she decide, okay, this is what I want to do long term. Maybe this one I'll just do it like on the side. But your career is your own. It's personal. It doesn't have to make sense to somebody else. It only has to make sense to you. So moving on, thanks for the responses. So I will just go straight into what self-understanding is. Self-understanding really is like self-understanding, like I said earlier, is like self-awareness, right? You are able to understand your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors, what makes you, what the things that interest you, what your values are, what your passion is. It's very important for us to have that understanding. You see a lot of people start their careers and then they don't even take their time to do that self-reflection to ask, oh, okay, what am I even really interested in? What are the skills that I have? Oh, okay, there's this career path. Let me use myself as an example. Back in the day when we were leaving university, it wasn't common to have career mentors or career coaches that'll tell you, okay, these are the roles available in the job market. If you have if you're able to develop certain skills, you should be able to apply for roles like that. Nobody was telling us any of that. We were freestyling. So when I got out of school, I just knew, okay, I wanted to do HR. I didn't know, oh, you needed to have organizational skills. You need to be able to come up with policies. You need to be able to manage employees. You need to be able to, communicate properly. So there are lots of things that we did not know, or I did not know back in the day. But along the line, I had to ask myself some questions like, okay, what kind of what exactly am I really interested in? Because again, HR is multifaceted, right? So what area of HR am I really interested in? I don't really let me open up to you guys. I'm not really a fan of recruitment. I'm one of those HR people that I run away from recruitment. Currently, I have a consultant I work with in the office. So I push everything recruitment to them. But when you come to HR strategy, coming up with policies, employee relations, strategy documents, that's my core area of strength. Anything that relates to research work, doing any type of HR data analysis, that's where I thrive. So I focus my energy doing that exactly. But anyway, let me not digress too much. So yes, you need to understand yourself, because you can, like the quote here says, we need to know who we are before we can decide who we want to be. Before you are able to move from point A to point B, you need to even determine what exactly do I want to do? What skills do I have? So why do you need to understand yourself? It will help you identify your areas of strength and the areas where you need improvement. I don't like to use the word weakness. It connotes like a bad omen for me. So I would say area of improvement. It helps you identify what you are good at, what comes naturally to you. What can you do without, exerting too much energy? There's some people that they can do some things and it's easy for them, while some other people struggle with it. It's good for you to understand your areas of strength. It will help you align your career decisions with your core values and your passion. Again, like I said, your career is personal. It's okay if it makes sense to only you. It's very, very okay. As long as you have a plan, you know yourself, you know what you're aligning with, you know what your values are, you know what your passion is. And lastly, to empower you to make authentic, purposeful career moves. Let me open up to you guys. I got a job sometime in 2022. It was a fantastic opportunity. It was a job where it was a prestigious organization. I don't want to mention the name here, but it was a prestigious organization. When I even told my parents I got the job, they were so happy. Like, oh my God, my dad used to call me the Okonjo-Iweala family. I mean, he's obviously proud of his daughter, but I thought it was a fantastic move. And then I got into the company and it wasn't a good experience. Not that the company was bad. I just realized that what I was supposed to be doing at that job was not what I wanted to do. So I found that I was frustrated at work. It was looking like I was struggling. I was trying my best, but my best didn't seem like it was enough. And then I just had to tell myself that this is not the right move for me. And I was lucky. So I started putting out job applications. Luckily for me, someone had referred me to another job, and that was how I was able to leave that organization. My point is, it's okay if you are able, if you understand that, okay, maybe I've made a mistake or like making some type of career moves, but understand yourself, understand what aligns to what you want to do, and then you're able to make those kind of decisions. So now, speaking about understanding yourself, there's something called the SWOT analysis. Ideally, back in the day, before more recent research, SWOT analysis has been a business term in organizations. So basically, what SWOT analysis does is it helps you to understand the strengths of a business, the weaknesses of a business, the opportunities that the business can explore, and the potential threats in the market for the business. Now, as research has gone on and the corporate world is evolving, people have not said that, okay, who says we can't do personal SWOT analysis for ourselves? So this is one framework that you can use to now ask yourself those hard questions. What are your areas of strength? You sit down with yourself, you ask yourself, oh, okay, do I have my way of speaking to people? Okay, does that mean that I may be strong with customer experience? Oh, okay, do I know how to, organize maybe events and stuff? You can ask yourself, can you go into event management? Or you can ask yourself, oh, you have a passion for it could be anything really. It could be anything. Just you're the one that knows yourself, right? Ask yourself what your areas of strength are. What are you naturally good at? And then the next box, because it's a quadrant, right? So the next box is weaknesses. Like I said, just for the purpose of this session, it's called areas of improvement. So you again, you know yourself. You know the things that you struggle with. You should be able to ask yourself, okay, what are the things I'm not good at? Someone like me, I'll open up. I don't enjoy paperwork. I don't enjoy admin processes. Even if at the beginning of my career I had to do it, but advanced, I realized that, okay, I don't have to keep doing these things that I'm not really great at. I can delegate it, to much junior colleagues. I mean, as you advance in your career, there are certain decisions that you can make as you progress. So next in the next box is opportunities. You have to ask yourself, okay, now I've been able to identify what my areas of strength are. I've been able to identify the places I can improve, the skills I need to improve on, or maybe some certifications I don't have that I need to write. It's an area of improvement. I've been able to identify it. Now, the next stage is opportunities. What are the opportunities that are available to me in the job market? Let me tell you something. I'm HR. There are jobs out there. The only thing is that you need to look for it. And you need to actually you need to put yourself out there, right? Leverage your network. I always tell anyone that cares to listen to me, networking cannot be overemphasized. I mean, networking doesn't even have to be overwhelming. You understand? You can just join volunteer groups, or you utilize your LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, please open one. It's very, very important. I can't remember. I'm not trying to be boastful, and I've not even gone so far in my career yet. I think I've tried for myself, but I have not. The last 3 jobs I've worked, I haven't applied for them. They have all been jobs that came to me on LinkedIn. So there's a way you have to position yourself, right? That opportunities will also come to you, even if you don't go and look for it. But you need to be able to identify what those opportunities are. What do you need to do to position yourself for those opportunities? That's what you ask yourself in that. That's what you ask yourself in that quadrant. And then the last one is threats. Now, threats may not necessarily, it's not necessarily harmful. Let's think about it like challenges. What are the possible challenges that you face, right? Given the strengths, the areas of improvement, the opportunities, it's okay for you to try and foresee, okay, maybe it may be difficult for you to just send your CV, and can you go and, you can try different, you can try different tactics. If maybe recruitment can take a long time, is it possible for me to... Hello? Oh, my bad. I thought that was one. Okay. Yes, I was speaking about threats. So you have to identify what the challenges are, what the possible challenges may be, and start looking for how to address those challenges as you go. So I would like for us to kind of, I was hoping that maybe we could, I don't know, do you think that we can do maybe take 5 minutes to do a draft of what the SWOT analysis can be? I don't know if that would be possible.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I would love that. So does anyone want to share anything? I mean, you don't have to share maybe things that you are not willing to share, but let's try and do something. Who would like to go first? You can also drop on the group chats, on the chat box rather. Are there comments? I can't see. Let me see if I can get to the comments. Are there any comments in the chat box?
No, we don't have any comments. So maybe you can try to retweet your question, because I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe people can start commenting on that.
Okay. I just wanted us. Okay, maybe I should use maybe I can just drop this template for people to just, because maybe the new concept, I'm not sure. Maybe they just need to really understand it. But honestly, the SWOT analysis is a very, very simple framework that can easily identify things about yourself, and then to help you. So this will also be available to us so that we can practice on our own. So I'll just move to the next slide. Yes. So the next slide is, we're talking about discovery. So now let's look at how we've come. We came from understanding yourself. It's very, very important. Know thyself. I don't know if anyone here is a Christian or reads the Bible, but there's a verse that says, know thyself. It's very important for you to know yourself. If you know yourself, nobody can tell you who you are. Nobody can tell you what's best for you, because you know exactly what you want. So you understand yourself, and then you go ahead to do the SWOT analysis, right? You're able to identify your skills, your strengths, area of weaknesses or area for improvements, opportunities, and then the threats. Now it's for you to ask yourself, what are the things that drive you? Right. I have a question for everyone. If money wasn't a factor, what would you do every day? Let me go first. I'll probably travel the world. If money was not a problem, I would love to travel. I would love to create content. I would love to show everyone, what the world looks like. That would be my preferred career path, to be honest. Is there anyone that wants to, say anything? Maybe Eunice, you want to say something? If money wasn't a factor,
yeah, I think personally, I would be sunbathing in Miami on the beach, and drinking bottomless mimosas all the time.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm with you on that. So it's okay for, for, again, what are the things that drive you? Money
Someone in the comments said, I'll do lots of arts and creative stuff.
Fantastic. I mean, I support creativity. I support arts. I support creativity. That would be fantastic. Yeah. If money wasn't a factor, what would you love to do every day? I mean, it's okay if everyone doesn't answer this question right now, but this is a question that you should be asking yourself, right? Just so that you can identify what your drivers are. And again, it's not wrong if financial stability is a driver for you in your career. Just be honest with what your own driver is and focus on it. So what is more important to you in a job? I think there was a poll here. Eunice, can you help with the poll? Which is more important to you? There's a list of options. Hold on, let me just try and read it out. Give me a minute. Eunice, is it coming up on your end? I'm trying to open up the
No.
document. Okay.
Maybe move
it's
to the
coming
next
up on-
slide so I can see what you're talking about.
So it's supposed to be, give me a minute, please. It's supposed to be a poll. So my question was, which is more important to you in a job? I mean, it's a question I'm throwing out to the entire,
Okay.
should I say class, for lack of a better word? Is it work-life balance as your major career driver? That means, are you trying to work? Maybe, what does work balance mean to you? Work-life balance mean to you? Does it mean remote work? Do you want to work in a place where you are able to work from home and be able to manage your time, balance personal life and work life? Or is it financial rewards? That means that are you trying to get as much money as you can? Maybe before you switch between this organization to the next organization, is it the amount of money? Maybe by how much more are they going to pay you? Or even starting as your career, is it the amount of money that they're going to pay you as your driver? Or is it personal growth? Are you saying, okay, I want to be able to go from point A to point B? Oh, I'm starting out as a customer service person, but I want to grow to be a chief customer experience officer later in the future. Or is it making an impact, right? Are you willing to volunteer? Are you willing to burn the midnight oil to do certain things? So which is more important to you in a job? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. What drives you? What's that thing that no matter what, it keeps you going? For me, personally, I think it's impact, because I realize that since I assumed like managerial position where I have to manage a team, I realized that it's not about helping them be better. It's not even about just be better on the job. As better people, like you can ask my team members, we have stand-ups 3 times in a week. By the time we finish, we'll share words of wisdom in quotes, but like just empower them, help them open their mind and tell them, you know what, you guys have the skills and the competency to do this work. Believe in yourself. There's that pep talk. Try to help them to expand their mind, stretch their mind. I always tell them, read up about your role. Come and look every week or every other quarter or anything. I want to be seeing new ideas, vision, innovation. So for me, it's impact, and I realize that it makes me feel satisfied. It makes me feel fulfilled. Like, because I read a lot. I do a lot of research. That's what I enjoy. So I like working with people that I feel like are opening their mind as well. So for me, what's most important to me in a job is impact. Also, even minus impacting my colleagues. If I go into a company, are they going to say, Ufuoma is in this company because of the kind of work that she's doing? Or is it just money? No, it's not just money. I mean, the financial rewards is there. Eventually in your career, the financial rewards will also be a driver. But impact for me is the most important thing. So I'll just go to the next slides. So now, we're going to speak on skill audits. So basically, skill audits is assessing the skills that we have. Now, there are 2 major categories of skills. We have hard skills and then we have soft skills. Hard skills are like things that you can easily learn. You can do a course, you can learn certain things like programming, data analysis. These are things that you can easily learn. And then soft skills are things that you develop internally on your own. Yes, you may need some resources, read up people's stories, read case studies and all of that to see how you can improve it. Things like communication, leadership, teamwork, critical thinking, innovate, ability to use initiative. These are all soft skills, but it's very important for us to take note of the skills that we have and by how well are these or how strong are these skills. So let's say under soft skills now, let's say communication. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. You can say, okay, maybe my communication is 3. For let's say organizational skills, rate yourself from 1 to 5, 4. So like that, you need to take an audit of your skills. It's very important because your skill is what the recruiters are looking for. That's the honest truth. Especially as a young graduate, or if a young professional. Yes, you've gone to school, you have the knowledge. They believe that you have the knowledge, but they're looking for people that have the potential to, develop some skills within them and shine on the job. So your skills and your skill is not fixed. You can keep improving on them. So take that responsibility to improve your skills. Trust me, there's no how you're working hard somewhere somebody's not noticing you. right? The more you improve yourself, the better you would be. So you need to take your skill audit very, very seriously. And then we now go into from self-discovery to career mapping. I was going to come up with a case study, but I was thinking, let me just share maybe my journey. Eunice, I also want to hear from you, Eunice, because we've for anyone that cares to listen, Eunice and I, we've worked together in the past. So I know she also has a story that I find inspiring as well. And anyone that maybe wants to just share something. So for me, I won't lie, when I started out my career, I didn't really do all these things. I'm going to be very, very honest with you guys. I did not do any skill audits. In fact, I saw a senior HR friend as at 2018 that was the first time I heard about personal SWOT analysis. It felt like an overwhelming thing to do at the time. So I didn't do it because I was young. And, I felt, I beg this one, the one is too much, for lack of a better word. Please forgive my vernacular, but along the line, it became evident that if you don't have a plan, you will just be moving without direction. Things will not make sense to you. You'll be unhappy. You'll be stressed. You will experience burnout. And trust me, you don't want that. There was a time I gave up on HR. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I said I was looking for a job that was not HR because I was overwhelmed. It felt like I wasn't progressing. And that's because I didn't sit down to say, okay, this is who I am. This is what I have. These are the skills I have. Okay, where do I want to go? What do I need to do to get there? So you have to actually sit down. The hard work is in the thinking. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to come and deceive people and tell you that it's so easy. It is not. It is not. But guess what? In the corporate world, survival of the fittest. Let the best man win. You have to have the skills. You have to understand yourself. You have to know what you can do. What are the things you need to improve on? You have to be real with yourself. If you want to get a career mentor, that is perfect. Someone that you can trust to discuss certain things with you, that will guide you, that wants to see you thrive. It's okay to have a career mentor. It's okay to talk to other people. Anybody that you respect their opinions about career, talk to them. Let them tell you how they did it. I'm telling you, it's not everybody that sat down to make a plan. We all learned as we were going. And it's from the lessons that we're, teaching and impacting the younger generation to come. So that's my own career journey from, discovering myself into mapping my career. And right now, I've done 7+ years in HR. I've worked across multiple industries. For my career, for in the future, let me give context. So into the future, I know that this year I want to write my global HR exam. Again, I'm doing that because I want to position myself for international roles. That's the truth. We know the way the country is going now. So, and I feel like, okay, I've worked hard enough. I have the experience. If I just add my international certificates, I should be able to get international opportunities. Another thing again in my career map is visibility. In the long run, I'm going to go into my own consulting, right? Now, yes, I'm working in HR. I'll probably look for other opportunities in different organizations, but it has to align with where I'm going. If it's not going to give me the room to explore or build my consulting skills, I'm not going to take the job. I don't care how much it's paying. I'm sorry. Again, because I know exactly where I'm going. I know where I'm headed. I know what I want for myself. I think that's that for me. Eunice, I don't know if you want to share your story. I'm eager to hear.
Oh yeah, I want to. And I think it's very, what's surprising? I was about to write a LinkedIn post about this. I was very scared about it. But like now that you've asked that question, I think it's like high time I shared. So guys, when I started my career, I did not know what to do. I studied history in university. And coming out was like, let's just see where the wind takes us. Okay, so first job, I got fired. Second job, I got suspended. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to resign after I was called off the suspension. And that has been a very it was just like a very traumatic period in my life, and I never really envisioned that I would come out of it. But out of the whole thing, I had to really sit down. Same thing Ufuoma talked about, sitting down to just really know who you are. Because when I think or do a genuine introspection of where I was coming from, why I took the jobs that I took, why I decided to work in the companies that I decided to work at, it was because I was not listening to myself. I was not aligning myself with what was very important to me. So I'm not going to come here and kid you with the fact that you're supposed to have it all figured out. In the spirit of accountability, I also have to admit that even in areas where, even in the companies that I've shared that I was fired or I was suspended, I have to admit that I was a bit incompetent. But incompetence it's not just an intentional act. It's a product of a couple of things. It's a product of you not knowing yourself well enough to align with the skills or being, motivated to work, because at the end of the day, you're only going to do something well and what you're excited about. So me just, moving through that, traumatic because really I was very eager to please my bosses, even if I did not know even if I didn't know what the company was about. I was not aligned with the goals of the company. So there was such a huge disconnect. Like, I really want to say that there was a huge disconnect. And so if there's a huge disconnect, there is no way, there is no bloody way you're going to make that impact, or you're going to grow, or you're going to, be an employee that's worth value. So I had to like really sit back and understand that, okay, I'm a very bright, I'm a very smart and intelligent girl. I'm not going to allow my past experiences to define myself. And I'm going to map my career. That's where I want to be, right? I have a goal, and the goal requires that I work hard. But where are the areas I can actually, leverage my strengths and actually make impacts doing the same thing? Right? I just decided that, okay, some of these fancy career paths that, sort of appeal to me, was just my insecurities speaking for themselves. And I just had to like circle back and be like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. What are the skills that I'm supposed to learn? What are the courses that I needed to take? Yeah, so just really aligning myself with, things that were true to myself just kind of helped me to kick start a new career path, and has helped me to be, really motivated on this path as I go forward. So that's literally my career, my career journey moving forward, right from like inception to this very present moment. And it was not easy. Like, there were days where I cried because I saw a lot of people just moving forward with their life, looking like they had, their lives all figured out. And I was like, okay, what am I doing with my own life? So, just having, I think I would like to call it courage and being brave to take a step back and know that this is what I want to achieve in the future. These are the strengths that I have, and this is how I can, leverage my strengths in making those dreams a reality. So yeah, that's been my career trajectory. Ufuoma, can you hear me? Okay, I think, is she on the call?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I got kicked out, but my network is back on now.
Okay, fantastic. So let me just
Just
make
go
you
back to
again.
apologies for that. I mean, I was hearing I heard I heard your story, Eunice, and honestly, thanks for being very vulnerable, because a lot of people will not, really accept that, oh, at some point in time, they could tell that they were bad, they were not exactly the best employee. And I think I've also had that experience, really. But it was more from a place of, it's possible for you to have manager and employee mismatch, but I know that that's not the topic we're discussing today. But
yeah, it was
at that
very
point,
possible. Like, I kind of experienced that. It was, that manager and employee mismatch. Oh my God, that's like another kind of
you
world.
see,
But
you feel like you'll be working, but to feel like your work it does not have heads. You cannot say this is what you're doing.
exactly.
It doesn't add up to anything. So like I understand that I understand that particular dilemma to a very, very large extent. But thanks for sharing your story. It's really, really inspiring. And I'm hoping that, every other person in this meeting would, actually take themselves a little bit more seriously. I mean, and plan their career really. So next is going to be, we're talking about just steps to build your career map. Like I said, these things are not cast in stone. The best we can do is give a framework of what works. Primarily, you still have to sit down and do that work. When you are able to do the work, then you'll be able to see the pattern and try to kind of map it. One is to regularly assess your strengths and growth areas. Even if you are, now I know that a lot of us in this meeting are young professionals, 0 to 2 years experience. Even as you get older in your career, like even when you are 7 years, 8 years, it's very important for you to still assess your strengths, because it's possible that you have new areas of strengths, new areas that you need to improve, because you keep discovering yourself every day. Stay in the place of self-awareness. It's very important. Even it cuts across just your career, even your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your family. You should always know yourself. Always know what you stand for. Assess your strength, like I was saying, and your growth areas. Very important. Create a vision for where you want to go. Again, I'm going to use a Bible reference. I think it was, please help me here. I don't want to misquote the Bible, but something, I think it was Abraham, and God says, as far as your eyes can see, that's how much you give to him. So yes, let's bring it down to our career. What do you see for yourself? Yeah, sometimes as we're going in life, they may be.
I think we just lost her, and she'll join. She'll join shortly. I don't know what's up with MTN today, but yeah, let's just give it a minute. She will join back shortly. Thank you.
Just once again, my network has been quite unstable for the most part of today, but we should be done soon. So apologies for that. So yes, I was saying, I think, can you confirm the last thing you said? I think last thing I was saying was about the vision. Is that the last thing that you heard?
Yes, as far as your eyes can see.
Yeah, as far as your eyes can see, exactly. So what do you see for yourself? Again, I said your career is personal. It's not nobody can dictate to you what you want to achieve. What do you see for yourself? And maybe a little bit of delusion can come in here. And it's okay. A little delusion does not hurt anybody. What exactly do you see for yourself? Write it out. Write down your vision, make it clear, write it in black and white. So that way you are reinforcing it in your mind what you need to do, where you need to be, where you are going. And that way these things are you'll be shocked. Just writing things down. You'll be shocked how much those things impact how you plan, how you act, because when you're saying it every day, it's in your subconscious. Before you know it, you are making plans, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, if I want to be in compliance, what does that mean? I need to write this exam. I need to get, this certification. You are moving that way. So you need to have a vision in mind. It's very, very important. And then lastly, find mentors, find role models, find communities. When I joined HR, when I started my journey in HR in 2017, I didn't have any HR friends. I did not have any HR friends. But I remember one time it was one of our lecturers in school. He took us to, I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Adora Equemes. So because we're students,
Can you
hear me better now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So sorry, can you confirm the last thing you heard so that I can just go back and from there?
You were asking us if we know Ada something. Yeah,
I was asking if we knew
an Ada or something.
Yes. So anyway, the reason why I asked the question is I had gone for one of her company's HR networking events, and at that event they encouraged us to. There was I don't know if LinkedIn still have that has that feature till now, but there's a way you can do like when you're saying find my iPhone, something like that on LinkedIn, so you could connect to other people around you. So I connected with people on LinkedIn. There was networking on the agenda, and that was how I made my first HR friend. You won't believe that is that guy that recommended me to the first internship I got. Right. And he kind of played a mentorship role for me that I didn't even ask him. And he honestly didn't have to. But, and then he will encourage me, we're having this HR seminar. Okay, if you cannot afford to pay, I can write your name down as an usher so that you can come volunteer to work, but you're still listening to what's going on there. So you need to find people that are invested in you. Maybe you may not see the potential in yourself, but there's someone else that you trust that can see that potential in you. And they are the ones that will probably be able to drive you and, kind of nudge you in the right direction. So it's very important for you to find your community, find your people, find a role model, find a mentor. Anyone that you trust that can help you in your career journey is very important. Don't think that, you're a fresh graduate, you shouldn't be talk to anybody. Don't keep quiet, network, go out there. Even in friendship gatherings, when you're engaging people, try and see how you can infuse things you want for yourself. You don't know who can connect to what you're saying, and then you can just start something from there, or they can refer you to a job or something. So it's very, very important. So now what next? What's the next step for you to do? If you ask me, after this session, I think maybe what we need to do is, first of all, ask ourselves, who am I? Do that deep reflection, who am I? Then you do a personal SWOT analysis. What are my areas of strength? What do I have now? What do I need to have later? What skills do I need to improve on? What certificates will I have to get? What are the opportunities that are available to me? If you have a contact person that can, put in a good word for you, like a referral, that is an opportunity for you. Leverage it. In your career, you have to take the front seat, you have to take the driver's seat, so be very, very intentional. Then also identify the challenges. You cannot underestimate how disastrous challenges that we don't actually identify can be. Don't say, so you just, and everyone's challenge in their career is different, it's different. It could be, for me, for example, it can be, maybe I don't have enough time to do the things I really want to do. Maybe I need to work on my time management. Time management is a problem, could be a potential problem for me. You need to do that sort of analysis. And then research career options. Optimize your LinkedIn. I tell anyone that cares to listen to me, optimize your LinkedIn. There's a way you can optimize your LinkedIn that it will send you job alerts in the way, so now if you want a specific type of job in a specific city, LinkedIn will tailor all the job opportunities that fits your skills. They will send it to you via your email. So explore options. Jobberman is there, but LinkedIn is even free. Explore your LinkedIn. Go to hot Nigerian jobs. Even if you don't go to all these job boards, leverage anyone that you know. Oh, do you know anyone? I'm looking for a job. These are the things I would like to do. Do you know anybody that can help me? If you can. Before, and I've seen maybe we just see one person following the CEO up and down into meetings. You will just say, oh, he's shadowing the CEO. He knows that maybe he may not be able to get a job like that. But if you shadow someone for a period of time, you take note of some skills that you need to do, then you want to go up behind and refine yourself. Don't you think you're putting yourself at a competitive advantage perspective? You need to, like I said, it's survival of the fittest in corporate world though. So the more you improve yourself, the better opportunities for you. And then, like I said, update your CV, update your LinkedIn. Please reach out to the Career Cafe. I know that they have a bunch of resources for updating, for optimizing your LinkedIn, for optimizing your CV. And then, like I said, find a mentor. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I know people look at mentoring as a bit stiff, but it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. Your mentor doesn't have to be someone that, you just sit down, you're afraid to even talk to them and gist to them on your own. Find someone that you are comfortable being their mentee. Do you get it? You should be able to choose it as well. So I feel like these are the steps that we need to take. And if we're able to, again, I try to simplify this. If we're able to take these steps, I promise you, you will be able to see changes in how you even approach your career. So that's all I have to say. Do we have any questions, any feedback, anything at all? Now
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ufuoma. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ufuoma, for that presentation. Like, even myself, there are a couple of things that I'm taking that I will work on as I go home. So just because we have like less than 9 minutes, I'm just going to run through a couple of questions that was asked, during the survey and everything. And yes, I'm just going to go through them and, just realign them with what, we've spoken today. So someone asked how to go about applying for jobs, and I'll just like quickly go ahead and just take that. And then Ufuoma, you can come in if you like want to, or would you like to answer the question and then I can come in, or however would you like it to?
I think maybe like you can ask the question, we can bounce off each other, but we can take it one by one. Maybe you can choose a limited amount of questions like that.
Okay, so when I got the question, like how to go about applying for jobs, I think this is a question that is commonly asked. It sounds like a very simple question, like how to apply for jobs. Someone will just say, why don't you just go to Google and apply and check out for jobs, but like considering everything that you've spoken about today, we can understand that to successfully apply for a job, you need a framework, you need a structure, you need a plan. So I'll say, first of all, know the jobs that are really aligned with your interests and personality. That's number one. Number two, you want to do a skills audit. So these jobs that you have searched out or researched on, what skills do you have? Okay, first, let's piggyback. Just go to websites like Indeed, LinkedIn, even Twitter. Twitter has like job applications, guys. So let's stop sleeping on these things. Like Twitter, founders are constantly looking for team members to join their team, right? And then when you find these jobs, you want to find the skills that are being requested. And after finding that, you do a skills audit. This job needs so this. Which skills do I have that totally match these jobs? So that's where the skill audit comes in. And then you start applying. You make sure that your CV is tailored to the job that you want to apply for. Like I always ask, if you are going to a wedding, you will not wear a swimming trunk to a wedding, because although a swimming trunk is a garment, it is not suited for the wedding or the occasion that you are going for. Likewise, in CV, your CV is supposed to be tailored to the job application that you are applying for. So, and with that, you also need to practice for interviews. I feel like this whole job application is like it's a whole seminar on its own, and we're going to like really have that. So, but Ufuoma, do you have anything to add to this?
Yes. The thing about job hunting is, first of all, your responses were very, very solid, to be honest. And what I want to say is not even really far-fetched. I just wanted to add that people don't understand that it's not just about applying for the job. Are you even the right candidates? So you see a lot of people, you see a lot of square peg, round hole type of job applications. Is this the right job for you? You know, your CV, is it? And again, like, you need to also understand what exactly is that recruiter looking for? Because sometimes recruiters will tell you what they're looking for. You have to read in between the lines of that job application. Do you meet up with the requirement? Do you have, even if you don't meet up, do you have transferable skills? How can, basically, let me tell you something. Job hunting is like marketing yourself. How can you convince that recruiter that you're the best choice? You know, so always have that in mind. Yes, you know, you have the right tools, you go to the job boards, optimize your LinkedIn, your CV and all of that, but ensure that you're also the right candidates, right, when you're applying for jobs. I think that's, with those our responses, I think that would really help.
Yes, I love what said about transferable skills. At least, like, that's very important, because one huge challenge with a lot of graduates is that, oh, I don't have experience, I don't have this, I don't have that. But like, I mean, you did a project in school, so for you to like submit the project in due time, there was you leveraged project management skills, you leveraged writing skills, you leveraged time management skills. So all of these things are transferable skills that can act the skills that you can portray to a potential recruiter. So another question: what skills are most in demand in my industry right now? How can I effectively network? What are the best strategies for career advancement? This person wrote 5 questions under one question spot. How do I determine if a career change is right for me? 5, what are the most common mistakes to avoid during job hunting? So because we are very short for time, I want to just really chip in here the power of AI. All of these questions that you asked, I think ChatGPT can give you the answers, like, honestly.
Yes,
I think it's very important.
Gemini.
I'm telling you, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, like, all you need to do is to use that, what's it called? Use the phone, like, no, the voice recorder, and just pour out your mind. And I am telling you that AI will give you a tailored response for yourself. Like, that's how wonderful it is. But just from top of my head, and because I'm just very conscious of time, to know the demand skills in your industry right now, you need to actively research. That's why there's Google. That's why there's LinkedIn. Like, there are some questions that at this point, you need to be proactive about answering them. You need to just really seek out these answers. Go on Google. If you are someone who studied microbiology, or you were someone that studied the healthcare, you're not a doctor or a surgeon or all of this high-flying healthcare stuff. Let me tell you right now, healthcare is very hot right now. Research is hot in healthcare. Education is hot in healthcare. Writing is hot in healthcare. So imagine if you're someone that says, oh, I just studied biochemistry, and I'm so sorry. You can pick up your LinkedIn, like Ufuoma said, and start writing on the things that you learned in school. Look out for a particular health tech, a health tech company that is, doing what you're doing, and write about the problems that they're solving, just including your own insights from what you learned in school. So I feel like all of these questions have a way, to be answered if you're willing to do the work, right? If you're willing to just be proactive. So I think the idea is to be proactive. It's really not, because we can come here and answer these questions, right? But if you don't step out to actually, because the truth is, you won't start anything. You can't learn anything by just exchange or bouncing off ideas. You have to do something. You have to do something. So best strategies for career advancement: do the work, go and research, go out there. It's just like saying, I want to eat fried rice. If I don't go out to the market and buy the ingredients, at least go outside to the ingredients, or like download Child Deck and check the app on the vendors that are selling like fried rice. Compare the prices of what I can afford. How am I going to eat fried rice? So I think all of these questions can be answered when but not to worry, all of these questions there'll be sessions around it. But because we're pressed for time, we really just want to move. So another question is, how do you know what niche is good for you? The answer to that is to do the SWOT analysis Ufuoma talked about today.
Analysis, yes.
Yeah, like your strengths, your weakness, the opportunities that are available for you, the possible threats, the potential threats that you may find. So that's the only way you can find your niche. Another question is how to get good paying jobs. Let's look at the law of economics. The law of economics, or the law of production, is demand and supply. If you have what your recruiter is looking for, you will get the job. It's like what Ufuoma said, being the ideal profile that your recruiter is searching out for. Okay. So another question is how to get clarity on what career field to enter into. When this recording is out, I want you to listen to it again. I also want you to follow Ufuoma on LinkedIn and check out her publication on Substack. Don't worry, in the goodie bags, everything will be placed there so that you get all of the direct links, to her. Then another question is, what are the company design principles and how they are applied to product development? What opportunities are there for growth within the product management team? So for product management, which I'm currently studying right now, there are a lot of opportunities in product management. You can start off as an associate product manager. You can just get to understand what the concept of a product is, who or what a product serves, and for company design principles, that's something that's a very niche something. So you may have to take a course on it. There are free courses on YouTube. There are free courses, or there are some courses you can take on Coursera, on Udemy, Udacity, and a couple of things that I would include in the goodie bag for these particular questions. But opportunities that are there for career growth within product management, you need to start out as an associate product manager. But first, you need to understand the type of products that you want to work on. Are you drawn to SaaS products? Are you drawn to healthcare products? Are you drawn to what type of, are you drawn to fintech products? What are you interested about? What particular problems are you interested in solving? Because that's the whole crux on product management. So you need to understand that. Yeah. And then what's next after NYSC? I think a lot of people are very confused about what to do about after NYSC, but I like to think of NYSC as a gap year. A gap year, meaning like a year after university where you can just cool off and then just plan your life. So if you're someone here and you're just, finishing your NYSC, I don't know what to do, or you're still doing NYSC, if you are broke, learn a skill, because that is like the champion of what a lot of people are afraid of. So if you are broke, you want to learn a skill. If you are confused, you need to get guidance. You need to leverage the available resources like AI, mentorships, career courses. You need to leverage the free resources that are available. YouTube has a host of resources that you can leverage on. If you want to relocate, you want to japa, you need to study about the international sphere or space that you want to enter into. You need to be very visible. Even if you don't have an experience, you can document your learning experience on LinkedIn. And the most amazing thing about documenting your learning experience on LinkedIn is that you begin to attract recruiters that are recruiting for young minds in that field. Don't underestimate LinkedIn, guys, don't. And if you are very concerned about mentorship, like Ufuoma said, mentorship is not supposed to be so complicated. You just need to look for someone who has a good head on their shoulders and has a couple of experience ahead of you. So that's really what you can do after NYSC. And if you like a one-on-one coaching session, please don't forget to reach out to me. Yes, how do you build confidence in your role and determine if it can support long-term career? The only way that you can find this out is by doing. If you can do something, if you can challenge yourself, especially in that role, you can build confidence. Like the only way, for example, if you go to the gym, right? The only way you're able to be sure that you're going to lift the weight is if you even make an attempt to lift it up first. So the more times you do reps, the more reps you do, the more confident you are in exploring other gym equipment, because you've done that. And even though it was hard, you were still able to scale through. So confidence does not come from anything else except from you applying yourself. So if you're looking to be confident in your career, look out for hard things. Challenge yourself with doing hard things. The problem everyone else is running away from, that is what you should challenge yourself with doing. I know a lot of people don't like to say it, but someone on link that I met in a networking program that I admire so much, his name is Mr. Dideji Olowen. His story goes like this. He was working in the bank, and then he had a problem that needed to be solved, right? I mean, not him, his company or members of his team had a problem that he needed to solve, and he took it upon himself to solve the problem. He didn't expect money. He just saw a problem and solved it. And guess what? His next workplace, he didn't even have to apply for it. So that's how you set yourself apart. That's how you become confident in the skills, by doing the hard things, by actively seeking out problems to solve. So that's the way you can build confidence in the skills, and also see that, because at the end of the day, if you don't apply yourself to doing something, you may never know if it is something you like in the long term. That's the honest truth. So you have to be willing to put yourself out there. As if someone asks, how can one build a career in a professional world that aligns with their God-given assignments, not just sourcing for opportunities based on top industry or money that can be made. I think this person is like really appealing to their spiritual or purposeful side. Whether we like it or not, the world thrives on problem solving, right? So your purpose is to solve a problem. Your purpose is to solve a problem. God is a creator. That is what you should understand. God himself is a creator. God saw darkness, which was a problem, and he provided light. So you need to understand that aspect of, I think this person is a Christian, but whoever you are, you just really need to apply that problem solving, skill to whatever you're doing. God himself is a problem solver. So if you worship a God as a problem solver and you are made in his image, then you should actually solve problems. So that's the only way you can make impact and not be influenced by the type of money you make or the type of industry fame that you think aligns with the career choices people are making. Solve a problem. And at the end of the day, you will actually make money alongside it. So for mentors, as a fresh graduate, I want to work in advertising space and I'm working on improving the necessary skills needed to be able to work there. What can you do? Well done in, developing yourself in these areas. That's very commendable. But you need to start documenting what you're learning, especially on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn. There are a lot of conversations around the field that you're currently pursuing. Join those conversations, put your 2 cents on it, begin to apply for internship roles. Advertising and marketing go hand in hand. I know that Anacol was offering, there's a company called Anacol, and they were offering like mentorship, no, not mentorship, like internship programs. So you want to actively look out for internship programs that align with the skills or career path in advertising that you're currently, studying on. And someone talked about mentorship. Like I said earlier, mentorship is not a complicated thing. You don't have to make it so complicated. So with mentorship, you can look out for someone, even in your circle. People think that, at least at this point, don't try to look for someone who is older than you. Don't be desperate to look out for someone who's older than you. Just look out for someone who has done what you're trying to do in your space, maybe on the internet. They don't have to mentor you directly. You can just pick out from what they're doing. And as far as mentorship goes, there are some things that you need to do for yourself. And then having a mentor is just going to be like an addition, because at the end of the day, you cannot outsource your own learning. You cannot outsource your own empowerment to someone else. So I think that brings us to the end of the questions asked here. So if you have any more questions here, I don't know if Ufuoma is here. Well, our time is fast spent, but if there are any questions you have specifically for Ufuoma, you can send it in. And I mean, you have everything on the recording. And then in your goodie bags, when you're having like all of the resources, you'll be able to access them if you cannot stay to the end of this session. So if there are no questions, like Ufuoma, do you have anything to say before we round off this?
Yeah, thank you very much, Eunice. Also, I also thank everyone that joined the session. I know it's Friday night, ideally after a long week, you want to unwind, but you took your time to, join the session. Thank you very, very much. It encourages me to understand that, like, there are people behind that really want to take more intentional steps towards, building a purposeful career. I just want to leave with just a few points. Like, again, your career is your own. You have to take it seriously. If you don't take yourself seriously, nobody's going to take you seriously. You have to be able to do the hard work. I'm not going to lie to you. Discipline is hard. It is not a walk in the park, but you take it day by day, step by step. Don't overwhelm yourself. It may be a bit confusing because you're just starting, but trust me, I was also confused at some points. But look at me now, 7+ years, I'm still going. So like, it's a phase. Don't worry, it will pass. You won't be so confused anymore, So just take it with stride, take it day by day, and then you will definitely succeed. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ufuoma. I really appreciate you. And so we've come to the end of the career mapping session for February. We really enjoyed Ufuoma's session, and don't worry, guys, you have all of the access to all of the recordings. And yeah, just like I'm just so short of words because of how well this session is and how rich it was in providing value. So thanks everyone for joining. Please, before we go, kindly follow us on LinkedIn, because we are going to start our LinkedIn posting challenge for people who have not, been able to get into that team. So our challenge is going to come up on the last week of February, and we're going to walk through it in March. So if you're someone who's interested in that, if you don't know where to start on posting on LinkedIn, we are going to have daily prompts for you to post on LinkedIn, and just get your own conversation and get your own journey rolling. But follow us on LinkedIn at My Career Cafe HQ. Just going to put that here. Please kindly subscribe to Ufuoma's. You're going to get the tea on all of the, you guys know that HR is the one that is employing. I'm not the one that is employing. HR is the one that is employing. So please follow her. I'm telling you now. Follow her.
And then I also post job openings on my newsletter. So and then we talk about there's career conversations in there. Trust me, you'll find something there.
Me, I don't post job applications. It's when I feel like that I do it, but that's not my so please follow her, please follow us. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a very great weekend, and see you in our next career mapping session. Don't forget to sign up and just stay tuned, because we have another speaker that you want to listen to in the next career mapping session. So bye, everyone.